The fallout from my trip to Thailand was pretty huge, but I'm getting back in form. I'm about 202 pounds right now. Plenty of dunks in this video. I have a big track meet in 2 weeks. Try and hold on to my strength numbers. Let's get into the video. 5 for 8 on 9.5, 1 foot East Bay is tracking really well. I feel like it's pretty much in the bag as far as hitting it on 10 feet. This summer, I hit a 9.6 lob tomahawk off one. And let's talk about why it's taken me so long to get back into shape after Thailand. Other than just getting into the swing of things again, I've tweaked my back 6 or 7 times in the last 3 weeks. The tweaks put me out for 1 to 2 days, and then I can move normally again. It's kind of odd. I feel like this injury has been festering away for 2 to 3 years. I always get a dull ache in my left lower back from jumping, and with the way I squat, shooting my hips up out of the hole often, that does put a little more pressure on that left lower back. Let me explain this monstrosity of a front squat real quick. So I have the straps on because it makes my front rack stronger and it forces me to stay upright. The belt is kind of a mental thing for my back right now, and I have that band around my knees because I am trying to squat with more knees forward and less knees caving in. A little bit of the knees tracking in is not the end of the world. For me, it's just an aesthetic thing. Like the penultimate step, I want it to look cool and pro skill. So this is a bench. I'm now benching 4 times a week, trying to keep my bench strong on the cut. Anyways, back to the injury. I do think the caloric deficit has had something to do with it. I have no resources in my body right now. I was very hungry this week, but I am sleeping 10 hours a night to try and keep my recovery on 10. Durability has always been my best athletic trait. I can do a ton of volume and I just don't get hurt. So I want to keep that as the case, because that's really the only genetic gift I have is being durable. 8-10, 5 for 8. I think I could have focused better on this under both as well. I'm going to be looking for better than 5 for 10 at 9 feet next week, and that's when the real game starts as far as chasing this under both. It is a goal for me this summer, and it's very far under my East Bay, so I need to get things going, and I'm feeling motivated to get things going on the under both. So that's a 9.6 360 tomahawk, 9.8 360 tomahawk, first try, that's why I'm holding up a 1, and then 9.10. That is 4 inches better than before I left for Thailand. I think I was doing a 360 tomahawk. Doing a little drill there, trying to focus on getting my second step to attack back. So you do like a fake first step and then really focus on getting that second step to punch. On to some no-foot snatches. This was a lighter day. Snatch was not feeling amazing, but it gets better throughout the week. I'm doing a 10-second hold in the bottom at the end of my last rep, trying to get my overhead position stronger. I think you'll see that there. I don't know about 10-second hold. It's more of just a long hold in the bottom, and it feels really good. No reason not to, really. Side note, but these knee sleeves on my shins have been absolute lifesavers because my shins have been getting beat up from snatching 3 times a week. What do we have going on here? Clean and jerk from the hang, very light, and then 4x5 pause squat at 300 pounds. This is my tertiary squat day, so I'm now squatting 3 times a week. Also, for this week's video, instead of speeding up the clips, I'm just going to cut them a little short. I feel like you can imagine what the other reps looked like. And the thing about speeding up the videos to 2x is that I find it just is kind of stressful. It makes me anxious that things are going so fast on the screen. I'd rather watch the lifting at the actual pace that it's happening at. So this is a 5x5 with 2 top sets where I'm pushing to 6 to 8 reps. So I'm going to push the second and third sets there. And that's actually something I wrote for a client. And then I was like, hey, I'm going to use this. So I just wrote it in as that person's name in my program. Speaking of the good folks on links, Jason, 250 hang power double. He also did 270 off the hang for a 5x1, which is crazy. Max has been doing a hinging program while he rehabs his knee, and he added 30 keys to his snatch grip dead. there's no difference in how it's moving. This is an all-time PR. Hayden was at dunk camp this week. Look at the boys, man. Okay, 2 snatch balances with 3 overhead squats. I really like the snatch balance. I mean, I'm basically catching it in a power there and then just going down. But I feel like it does exactly what it says it's going to do. I feel the bar in that perfect position overhead, in that slot where I want it. Right here, slow to knee snatch, double. I was catching super low on this day, and I attempted 100 with basically no confidence. I mean, some confidence, obviously, to get into the bar, but I really wasn't expecting much. Caught that thing so low. Look at that. And then I'm holding it. Okay, 140 for the snatch pull. Going okay. I think I can get my snatch pull hopefully back to around where it was. Man, if I was pulling like I was pulling when I was catching high, oh my goodness. I'm snatching 140 right now. This is a 140 squat, and you'll realize that I did this for a 2x5 earlier in the week. I guess I was fatigued from the Wednesday squat day because that was hard. 335 for a 2x12 on belt squat. Got the plates adding some range of motion there. I tried this kickstand RDL, and I'm trying to hinge at a 45-degree angle. So it's kind of between a side bend and a straight up hinge pattern. Felt really good. I feel like this is going to be key for my recovery back-wise. A little bit of chocolate milk there. I had to fix that later in the day diet-wise by having a small supper because that was 300 calories. Needed something to get going on this bench. 5x2 with 300 pounds, touch and go. My touch and go is pretty weak. I'm surprised. I feel like I need to get used to the rhythm. I have been absolutely loving single arm dumbbell rows. I find it hard to connect with a lot of back movements, but when I let my upper back rotate a little bit on these, I do feel them. Lat pull down, trying to fix my square back and get a little bit of a V going on. You know what I'm saying? On to Saturday, very suspect bench triple. If you look at body weight ratios, technically my bench is getting stronger. According to dots, it's not getting stronger. So my triple was 315 when I was around 220 pounds, and now pretty much at 200 pounds, it's 300. Body weight ratios can be misleading, but I feel like the dots is also kind of off there. This is an absolute grinder. I was thinking about my Lynx athlete, who I know is good at grinding benches. Like while I was doing this rep, I was like, man, I've seen Justin hit reps like this, man. I got this. That's funny, man. They really do inspire me. 265, 2x8, and I'm adding a little bit of wood to the foam roller, getting the arch going. Push press 230 for a double. Actually, in the week prior to this, I push pressed 240 for a double, which was big. Shoulders were tired here, though. I think with the 4x a week benching, and that's what I was showing in a clip there. My shoulders and my pecs were, goodness, they were very tired at this point. Got slightly humbled by 150 for a 2x9. Thought I could get at least 10 reps there, but I will build up at 150 on my rep out overhead presses I do on this day after the push press. Kind of a slow 10-meter build, 10-meter fly at the track. Oh man, usually I would not film strangers, but these two people were having a picnic on the track. I don't even know what to say, man. Okay, you know, they can do whatever they want, but like there's a whole field right there. Anyways, this is a perfect transition through the 100-meter. Really proud of this one. It was very, very smooth. I am feeling a little slow, though. I have track provincials in 2 weeks. 9.9 off the backboard lefty mill. 8.6 reverse 360 mill off 1 foot. Pretty tired at this point. What do we have going on here? Just practicing some under both and some 360 East Bay. Trying to get those up for the Wednesday session. I'm doing a seated Vertec touch at 10 feet for reps and a depth jump Vertec touch. Fortunately, you can't see the Vertec here. I did do 1 standing rep at the end, but I'm going to change up my approach and try some new things for off vert. I've been doing it 2 times a week for a while now, and I feel like it still doesn't really make sense considering I have a 562 powerlifting squat, 200 keys for 4, high bar, no equipment squat, 640 dead. I have a 275 snatch and a 43-inch vert. Like all these numbers, you'd think my standing would be at least over 36 or something. It's interesting. But a big part of the process, right, is investing time to figure out that you're doing things wrong and just changing up your approach. I might try a broad jump. Maybe that'll help out, doing some broad jumps more often. We will indeed see. Okay, I'm doing my hammy curls, lat pull down. I have a slow to knee clean here. Wasn't feeling amazing on this day. I actually was feeling quite bad, but I can't be missing 125 slow to knee. Popped that, and I did some back off reps, trying to work on not rocking back. You'll see I did good. I was about to faint there. Okay, you'll see I did good here, keeping my shin angle forward. I do have this habit of rocking back that you'll see right there. I rock back, and that will shoot me out the back on a lot of cleans if I'm not careful. Clean pull, feeling weak. My pull in general is weak because I have not been deadlifting. This is 95, and this is where I knew I had to lock in. I have one Lynx athlete that'd be sending me texts about, man, I don't want to be complacent. I hate that complacent mindset. And that's what I was thinking about. I was like, man, I got to do something today. I got to do something. So this is a pretty well executed 100 with the long hold at the end. And then I went to 102, bop, power. And then the other rep was a little suspect, but I went to do an overhead squat after because I was like, I'm going to get my long hold at the end. And I was holding in there, holding, working that overhead squat position. Come on now. And then I got injured doing a single leg landmine deadlift. I am recording this voiceover the day after, and it's feeling better. I feel like I didn't get to talk about my approach to back pain very much this video, but there'll be plenty of time for that next week. Last word, complacent.